To me, enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us, bring us down, bring us enough is enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to Indie Wrestling Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, the queen of the Indies, Tiffany. And today we have one I've been waiting for a little bit. I had to wait a little bit because someone was busy. But we finally got you here, my friend Flash Carter.
What's up, everyone? How we doing?
Awesome. I'm so glad that you're here.
Glad to be here.
Yes. So I see people in the chat. What's going on, guys? How are you? All right. I'll get to you. I'll give you some love. The ambulances are going outside, fire trucks, all that stuff outside. So just ignore it if you hear it. So, guys, if you're new here to the Under the Rope series, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, backstage. I got you covered. If you guys got questions for Flash, feel free. Drop it into the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. So. And for all the audio listeners out there later, I love you. Thank you for all the love and the support, too. So, okay, let's see. Let's go into this chat because I see it popping off. All right, Laura's in the chat. Hi, Laura. Actually, she was at the last NFW show, which we'll get into later, so that you were first for her. BY Media is in the chat. He goes, yes. Ben's in the chat. It's the Flash from the other universe. And then we have Matt Vertigo. He goes, oh boy, it's Flash Carter.
Matt Vertigo.
Which we were going to talk about you in a little bit too. So, so did I message Melissa? I'm sure she'll be listening if she's not listening already. So we'll see how the pops off. So, but yeah, let's start off here because you've been, Mr. Busy. So first of all, congratulations is in order here.
Thank you.
Graduated school, did all your MCATs, all that stuff like that. So you must feel relieved now, right?
Nah, never done.
Never done. Well, now you can relax, right? The test is done.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for my scores. I actually get them back tomorrow
Ooh.
sometime. So I'm really scared.
No,
I've been like a nervous wreck for the last month since I took it.
No.
Yeah.
You got this.
I hope so.
I was telling him, I was like, go be smart. So awesome. So I'm excited. So all the good vibes, good scores.
Hopefully. Cross my fingers.
So yeah, see, perfect timing for a podcast with everybody. So yeah, oh boy, questions already into the chat. So, but actually, let me ask you this, and then we'll go a little deeper into it. Then I'll go back into the chat. So, I guess let's start this. How were you balancing school and wrestling?
Very tired. That's how. No, but it was just I would have dedicated times each day for everything I was gonna do. So I tried to stick to a really strict schedule, and I left my PlayStation at home, no video games. I wouldn't really do anything that was fun or for personal enjoyment. I wasn't going out for 4 or 5 months. And I just turned 21 too, so it was all my friends wanted to go out and that's all they wanted to do. And I was just every weekend either away at wrestling or home studying. So
Oh,
it
wow.
sucked for a little bit, but hopefully it'll pay off in a couple months or down the road.
Oh, it's definitely gonna pay off. You got plenty. You got plenty of time too. So
I hope. I hope. That's what everyone keeps saying. I
you
don't know. I get
do.
in my head about it. I get in my own head.
No, it's all worth it. You're still got plenty of time, so you're gonna have like tomorrow you'll be able to breathe and you'll have like complete relaxation pretty much. So all right, let's see. I see in the chat, Matt Vertigo says Flash is the future. Dude's been grinding on all sides. Dr. Carter in the house. See, we'll all root
Everyone
for you.
says that's got to be my new gimmick. Like once I actually get into medical school, I have to become a doctor in the ring.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it might be a little
Dr. Flash.
little overplayed. Yeah, I
Dr.
know.
Flash.
I hear that a lot.
There you go. Right. I think Dr. Flash is pretty much here. All right. Here. All right. So let's go with some of these questions into the chat, and then we'll go back into mine. Laura says, "Who's your biggest inspiration?"
For wrestling or just like in general? I guess wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like in terms of like the moves I do, they're like inspired kind of by like 5 or 6 guys, I would say. But just growing up and watching wrestling, I was really like Shawn Michaels the best. I tend to do like a lot of his moves. I feel like AJ Styles is a big influence. Seth Rollins. Those are like the guys that I kind of try to like base all my stuff off of. Like not so much like high flying stuff. Like I feel like I kind of get like a rep for being like the high flyer, but like I wanted to be like more of like an all around guy. Like those guys all could do some cool high flying stuff, like no doubt about it. But like they could definitely also grapple. They could do the submission stuff. You know, they have really good characters, good personalities. So
Right.
that's kind of like the all around I want to be. You know, not just like one category.
Definitely. I love that.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got more.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah, no, there's a lot. John's in the chat. He goes, "Hey Tiffany, hey Flash." I'll get to your question in a second. Matt Vertigo, I feel like this is a trap question right here. What's your favorite match so far?
That I've had.
That's a trap. You better be careful.
So I did have a really good one with him. I was upset it didn't win match of the year at that promotion that we had it at. The one that won was really deserving though, so I couldn't be like too upset. But that one was really good, and then I had another one with KTB that was really really good at that promotion. And then recently I just had one that was 2 out of 3 falls with Joey Adams, if you know who he is.
Yep.
And that one went like 23 minutes, like bell to bell. And it was a 2 out of 3 falls, so obviously it's going to be longer. But, I mean, that was like my longest match I've had. And another big thing is when I was taking those months off just studying whatever, my only escape would be like just going to work out. So I ended up building up really good stamina. And like I was finally able to use it because like I had been telling them for months. I was like, I really could go like 25 minutes in like a match. I want to do it. And then I finally got to do it, and it was really fun.
Awesome. All right, let's see. There's so many questions in here. I love it. Ben says, I'm not even going to get to any of my questions. That's okay. That's cool. I appreciate all the questions in the chat. Ben says, did you see the Flash movie? And if so, what was your thoughts?
I did not see it yet. I'm more of a Marvel guy than DC. But my dad has been asking me to go see it, and he did want to see it for Father's Day, so I owe him that. So I got to go see that, definitely.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got a whole bunch of people telling me that I should like try to take advantage of it and use it as like a promotion or a way to like try to promote myself, the new Flash movie, because it'll be like trending and everything.
There you go. See, you gotta go with the trends pretty much.
Yeah.
So I guess
Work
you
the
have
algorithms.
See, I guess you gotta like stay tuned pretty much. I guess we're gonna have to have him come back. He could go see the movie and then he'll come back and then he'll tell you. All right, let's see.
TBD.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's see. John says, "Hey Flash, what's your dream match of Grim Toy Show?"
Dream match on GTS. There's a lot of drama going on at GTS I've saw recently in the last couple days, but I guess any Grimm's dream match would have to have Grimm in it, right? So me versus him for like the big belt. But if you know anything about GTS, me and Grimm have been like very friendly for a couple years now. We've been allies. We've been on the same team. I've been the only one who's been loyal to Grimm, so I would never turn my back on him. at least not now, you know.
Ooh. Oh, you just said it. Like, here, careful. Careful. It's gonna be clipped and used. All right, let's see. Matt says, whose matches do you study most?
Well, definitely not Matt Vertigo's, I can tell you that.
Damn.
But no, I really haven't had a lot of time, obviously, recently to been watching. I mean, even WWE, I haven't really caught a lot of that. But I try to watch just like all my friends' matches. If anyone sends me their match, like I'll always definitely make time to watch it. So I mean, like most of the boys that are on like the UWA roster, I'm pretty close with. So if they send me their stuff, I'll watch it. Anyone that's on like any of the shows I'm on, I've probably seen those matches because when I'm at shows, I usually just hang out and watch those matches after. And I don't know, I watch like a lot of my own matches, not because I think I'm like amazing or anything, but like I'll watch them on repeat and just like critique the smallest little things. Like I'll roll into the ring and like my toe will like clip the rope or something, and I'll like cringe at it. I'll be like, oh my god, that's terrible. Like that needs to be better. So like just trying to be like a perfectionist and look for like the tiniest things in my matches I can improve. Not so much like, I guess, watching for ideas, because like you could always do crazy cool indie moves, I was told, and it doesn't really matter if you're not telling the story. So just watching to see how I can become like a better in-ring storyteller and like psychiatry in ring, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of like what I look out for when I'm watching my matches.
Well, Matt, now you got to send of all your matches.
Oh, and no, and definitely, like, if I'm working someone, and usually, like, most of those guys I've worked now and I'm kind of familiar, but if I don't know someone, I'll look them up and I'll be watching their matches before we work, so that way I have a sense of familiarity with their moveset and what they're going to do.
No, that's smart, 100%. I think that's
yeah,
like,
no,
really
like,
smart.
there was one time I fought this dude, his gimmick, Matt probably knows this guy, actually. His gimmick's like he's a magician, and he did this one spot where it was like he would like pull out like handcuffs and be like, I'm an escape artist and this and that, and the ref would pull it away and then we'd run a spot, whatever. And he did it in like a match a year ago, and it was just so happened that I watched that match the night before, so I knew exactly what he was talking about when he called it. And I was like, yeah, bro, like let's do it. I'm down.
Oh, awesome. I like that. Matt also said, what promotion are you looking forward to working with most?
Matt.
He's got some good questions though. No, there's other ones in there. Don't worry. I got you. There's other ones. It's just popping off the chat, so I gotta forget my questions. That's all.
I'll say there's a couple. So ones that I haven't worked for yet that I'm gonna come work for soon. Shore Star. I'm really upset I didn't get to have my match there last week. I ended up hurting my knee the night before at the Sanctuary. And that really bummed me out because it wasn't like a bad injury. Like I wrestled this past weekend, but I took 2 weeks off, and there was like a couple of days it was rough walking, and like I definitely couldn't see myself like jumping and taking bumps and stuff. So it was probably smart that I didn't try to be like a hero and fight that day. But I do really want to fight for Shore Star. I'm doing a lot of work for Titan now in UWA, but upcoming I have a couple other new ones coming up. I know I have one, a new promotion, actually. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say about it. Coming on, I will give you the date now. 1 second. Hang on. I think it's August 5th, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And, yes, August 5th. So I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say about that yet or not, if the poster's out. I think it might have just actually came out, so I'll send you that too, actually, at the end, so we can put that on there.
We'll talk about that after.
But yeah, lots of new stuff. Always excited to get out to new places, meet new people, get my name out there, show my face, show that I want to pursue this as far as I can,
Yeah, definitely. And I agree with this. John says in the chat, we need a Flash Carter versus Flash Dustin Waller. Let's freaking go. And then he says, and whoever wins is the real Flash. Listen, I need this because it needs to happen. It just needs to happen.
You keep saying that. You got to bother Cody.
Yes, Cody. I know he messaged me, so I don't know if he's listening, but he'll listen to it. If he's not listening now, but he knows. He knows that I want this. This is one of my matches that I need. Melissa.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, I met him like once or twice in passing, but I've never really had like a full conversation with the dude. But I've seen his highlights. He's like crazy athletic.
Yeah. So I think you guys like would just have a killer match. So I'm here for it. So Melissa's in the chat. What's up? She said Azalea says hi. So make sure you say hi to Azalea.
Hello, Azalea. Isn't it her? I heard it was her birthday around this weekend. Is that true? Happy
Sunday,
birthday,
yeah.
Azalea! Shout out to you.
Awesome. Courtney's in the chat. She says hello, Flash Carter.
Hello.
Awesome. All right, so let's go here. Let's go. We're gonna go into some of my questions because you guys were being little huggies. All right. Okay. So I like to ask this question. Obviously, we talked about a couple of matches, but what is the go-to match to a fan that's never seen you wrestle before that you would recommend to make an instant fan?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to tentatively say the one that I just recently had, the 2 out of 3 falls one I was talking about, just because that one was like really, really loud crowd reactions, and Joey Adams is like a big part of that. He's like a really, really popular guy at UWA, and I have like a decent following there too. So then like it was like a really, really big like face versus face matchup, and it was just a really good atmosphere. And if you watch it, it'll be like, oh my god, like this is a really good, like entertaining match. You won't think like indies or anything. You'll just be like entertained because there's a lot of good false finishes, and it's just back and forth the whole time. So very entertaining. You will definitely not be disappointed in it.
Awesome.
And I get to show off all my full moves basically because it's a 20-something minute match, so I had to dig deep in the bag, you know.
There you go. I love it. All right, so it's funny. Like Melissa gave me a question before, so she said, "What is the hardest chop you ever took, and why is it the one from Eric Corvus?"
It might be the one from Eric Corvus. I'm thinking of what's like the hardest ones I've taken. I know KTB has given some very hard ones. There's this guy named Mr. Spectrum. He only wrestles at this one place, UWC, that I go to, which is like, like a very local fed. He's like this really big dude, and he just like doesn't give a fuck, and he'll just chop the shit out of anyone. Like he was chopping the shit out of, if you know, Era Spiral not that long ago, and like he left like some bad handprints on her. But when I was 19, they all chopped me 19 times in between shows, and it was brutal. So I can handle chops. I'm good at that. I'm good at handling it. I get chopped like every show basically. I'm very baby face everywhere I go, so it's an easy target.
I was like, Melissa sent it to me. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, how is he doing this podcast on Tuesday? I was like,
no, the chops weren't even the worst part of that match. I mean, I got like my face got all cut up and stuff at the end of it because I got hit with a big treasure chest. It was a fun finish. You got to see it. It's coming out soon, that match.
Awesome. All that love to UWA Elite. I've been to a few. Always a fun time. Shout out to Eric Corvus. Like, I know Eric Corvus a long time. The graphics, I put him over.
He works super duper hard on UWA Elite. That's like his baby. And I mean, he gets it out in like crazy good time. These shows that he produces are like, 7-8 match card shows, and they have full like highlights with like rewinds from what happened the last 3 months, so what's going on in this feud, and an advertisement. It's like not just like match. It's like really good editing, really good replays, multiple camera angles, commentary. So he puts a lot of work into it, and it's really funny because his big thing in his promos he was putting over was that his first match was like 3 or 4 days after I was born, in the same city I was born, in Bayonne, New Jersey.
He would say that.
He's like, I was debuting and you were literally being born.
Typical Eric. Much love to him. I love him so much. So I miss him. And me and Melissa always say we love him on commentary. He's like,
he's like commentary for
he's
my
fun on
last
commentary. One. He's definitely fun on commentary. And he was like, but I want to wrestle. And I'm like, yeah, but we like you on commentary.
Yeah, but he's great because he knows like all the stories too, and he's like really good at putting them over on commentary. So he's like also very good at progressing storylines, putting that stuff in motion, like a good commentator. But yeah, he's good. He's good at it all. He literally does like everything. He's like a 5-tool player,
So is Matt says typical Eric Bozo. Melissa says there was a grandpa chant to Corvus on Saturday. Really?
Yeah, they got it going a little bit. Well, because he said what I just told you. He
Yeah.
said that in the middle of the
Yeah.
match, and then the crowd's response to that was Grandpa Corvus.
Oh, all the love here in the Wrestling Corner. Everybody knows that. John says, Flash, ever think of making a Wrestling Open or Beyond Wrestling debut?
I mean, I would love to get up there if I had the chance and the opportunity to. I don't know what the situation is on like getting up there. I know you know more about that than me, probably.
Yeah. So we'll talk after. Ben in the chat said, who has been your favorite opponent in your career so far?
Oh, I've had a couple really good rivals. Recently, like this year, dating back to like last December, November-ish, I fought Jay Evans like 15 times, if you know who he is. He's like also become like one of my best friends. I fought him a bunch. I fought this other guy, Jungle Jim, who's another really good friend of mine, a bunch. And I fought Philly Mike a bunch at the start of my career. So those three like come to the mind especially. But I don't know. I've had like now that I think back on it, I've had a lot of like really decent rivalries at places. Like the one with Joey Adams was really good. I had another really good one with BT Bowl and like Seaway. So like, there's a lot, but I would probably say just because of like recency effect, like Jay Evans.
Okay.
Also because we literally fought in like 4 different promotions in a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks. It was crazy back in like March, April. It just all worked out. We were just like feuding at the same place and like, we were just feuding at 4 different places at the same time. It was weird.
You could have did like a compilation, like a TikTok video where it's like you're fighting, like walking into it and then go to
I did a big promo and it was like I was hyping it up and I was like, Jay, I'm gonna beat your ass here, and then I'm not done because I'm gonna beat your ass again here, and then I'm gonna beat it again here. Like I was just like going on and on. It was great.
I love that. Melissa says, non-wrestling question, favorite Mets player ever?
Probably. Well, I grew up liking Mike Piazza the most. I always played catcher when I played my whole life, so Mike Piazza I'm impartial to. But I also really like Cespedes when they had him. That was like the only time they were really good that I can remember in my life. So one of those two, but I would probably leave or Alonso now. Obviously, Alonso's the best. So one of those 3. I'm bad at giving one answer. I'm so sorry.
No,
I don't just give like a concrete
You're fine.
answer.
You're fine. Matt said, let's go Mets. Yes, we're all Met fans here. I love it. I love it.
Well, just don't talk to Matt about basketball. He's got like 16 different favorite basketball teams.
Or don't play basketball with Matt.
You don't play with him either. He's got no post game.
Oh, damn. All right, I'm moving on before it gets hot and heated in here. All right, well, shout out to Cody because you recently made your NFW debut. So you worked Rocket, Leo Sparrow, and Jay Haru. So
yeah, that was a really fun match.
It was fun. It really was just, and if you guys haven't seen this, it's on IWTV. Go check it out because it was really fitting for all of you guys. It worked so well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely worked so well.
It was a good like introduction for me too. You know, you get in like a multi-man match because obviously like time is a very big thing. On IWTV, that's something I'm learning as I get on more shows that are like, you know, going on like live on networks and stuff. That like you got to be strict about sticking to this. So as a new guy, I wouldn't expect to get like, you know, a singles match or anything, and to be put in a multi-man match with guys like Rocket and like Leo that could do some really cool stuff like that. I thought that would definitely be the best way for me to get introduced to the crowd. Yeah. And I was really, really surprised because they were like they ended up giving me some chants at the end, and I was expecting Rocket to get all the big face chants, but I got like the big comeback chant at the end from them. So that really was a nice little surprise at there. For me, but I think it's going to be me and Rocket eventually going there next time. I think that's the direction we're trending towards.
It would be good. And I know like me and Flash talked like before the show, we were saying that you guys actually know each other before wrestling, which is crazy.
Yeah. No, it is. It's always cool when you can know someone and then like wrestle them because then it's like you have like that additional chemistry, you know?
Mm-hmm. So shout out to Rocket. He's making some waves too. It's nice. It's
Yeah,
nice.
he
to
is.
start
I'm
seeing
so.
it.
Oh yeah, let me give a shout out to Rock. And I am super proud of him because I've been riding with him like a decent amount since we met a couple months back. Or I've always like knew of him, but like we became like friendly a couple months back and started hanging out. And he's like in Atlanta right now, so he's killing it, dude. And he is like, dude, he does like the most insane stuff all the time. I don't get how he does some of that shit. It just doesn't make like gravity sense to me.
It's
That's
well
literally that's his like fucking handle. It's like
Yeah.
gravity shifts or whatever.
Yeah. Much love to him. Yeah, Matt's mad. He goes, "You don't want this work, Kid Carter. Got no jump shot, you trash."
Yo, I am begging them to bring back the basketball game that they did like when I was first starting
Shane
wrestling.
Fair.
I will so do the basketball thing again, and I want to be in on it. I want to be going against Matt Vertigo and matched up with him.
Damn. Shout out to Captain Dave in the chat. What's going on? How are ya? All right, so let's see. Okay, I want to talk about this because I think this is pretty cool. It's so neat when you start seeing like fans and being part of video games and stuff like that. So wrestling code, and pretty much like talk to us about that because I think that's pretty awesome.
The wrestling code is really it's going to be like a crazy game. It's not going to be like any of the AEW bullshit that's coming out right now. It's going to be legit, okay? So the guy working on it ended up getting close with Tony Cheney, if you know who that is. He's another wrestler, and he's a very good friend of mine. He's actually like a big reason that I do like a lot of the places I do. I met him when I was training, and he was already like an established wrestler, and he started bringing me to all these places and like getting me connections and this and that. But he became like the main motion capture guy for the video game producer. And one time they just needed an extra guy to drive because they were going to Georgia, and that's like a long ass drive. They're leaving from somewhere in the Northeast, so that's like over a day at least of a drive, you know. And they were like, Tony was like, I know this one kid, and it just so happened to be like when school was online for 2 weeks because they were doing like a weird go back for 2 weeks at the start of the semester, but it's online because we wanted to quarantine. I don't know, like COVID messed everything up in college. It was really weird. But so I was like, yeah, no, I could do it. It works. So I ended up driving down with them, and it just so happens the dude that they were doing was DDP. And that was freaking awesome because we got to motion capture him doing all of his stuff. And he actually didn't want to take any bumps. So he had like these students with him from the Nightmare Factory that were doing like all his cutters and everything. But when we were doing like just like messing around and stuff at the end, he was like, I want to see how green you are, like, to me. And he was like, let's like lock up. So he goes to like lock up with me and stuff. And we're like chaining around or whatever, and the guy hit record, and I don't know if DDP was like realizing or whatever, but then he went to go like put me in like the diamond cutter, and he did the thing where like he points around, and now that motion is recorded, and it was done on me, which I think is like really, really cool. So that'll probably be in the game for him, like when he's about to do his finisher.
That's
and
awesome.
like I'll just always be thinking about that. But yeah, I know my friend Tony's going to be a day one character in the game. He said that I was going to be in it. He said on Twitter on the official account, too, that I was going to be in it. So, I mean, I guess that means I'm in it. I'm on the website and everything, too. They have it on all, like, the dirt sheets.
Yeah.
So, that would be really, really cool. But, yeah, no, that game in itself is just going to be sick. Like, it's going to have unique abilities for all the guys I know. So, it's going to have a ton of stuff that you wouldn't see in, like, a traditional WWE video game. So, that's this Christmas, this holiday season. Make sure to look out for the wrestling code.
Look at that. Look, it's going to be here before we know. We're already in June. We're almost in July.
I know.
It's crazy.
I remember when I did it last, like, January, saying, like, oh, it's going to be, like, a whole, like, another 2 years. It'll be forever or whatever, but it's almost coming around already.
So, like, even, like, video games and stuff like that, I like to see that. Has anybody, like, made you into a character into WWE?
Oh, yeah, I get those a bunch. That's always really cool to see. You like that. No, the GTS people, I feel like, get done a bunch. Some of them are pretty good, but some of them are, like, really, really bad, and it's really funny.
They tried, right? Their heart was in the right place, pretty much. So, but I always think that's cool that people take out the time to create you.
It is. It's definitely cool to see on, like, a video game and stuff. I've had some creepy stuff made for me, so some stuff's been a little weird.
Some creepy
There's
stuff.
been, like dolls made to, like, look like me and, like, weird shit, but
Oh no, like voodoo dolls?
not like voodoo dolls, but like another kind of disturbing dolls.
Oh my, oh my! You should like bring them into the ring and use them like as weapons. So okay, so you versus Matt Vertigo in a creepy like merchandise from the fans match. Yes.
Well, I'll send you the picture because I think here it is. I'll
Oh.
send you it on the messenger,
All
Facebook
right.
messenger.
Oh my God! Wait. So let me see. Hold on. Let me pull up the preview thingy so we can.
It was very I was certainly very.
Hold on one second. Let me grab the.
I don't even know what the word is to describe it.
All right,
Just
hold on.
odd.
Wait, you're gonna get a live reaction if the thing. Oh no, does it send? Oh wait, here we go. Oh my God! All right, hold on. All right, hold on. Let me try to quickly load this into the program because this is just...
Oh wait! Nah, I don't want.
No,
I don't want to no, yeah, because I don't want to make the guy upset. Then.
All right, let's
I
not.
mean, it is creepy, but I don't want to upset the dude, you know.
Okay. Well, anyway, okay, so it's just creepy. Anyway.
But isn't that?
I don't even know what to say with it, but you know what? It's sweet though that they try to do that.
No, it really is. Like I get the idea behind it and all, but
Right.
like, whenever I would show that to anyone, they would just be like, "Oh my God, that's insane."
God bless the fans, pretty much. Well, you know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with one of my infamous questions on this podcast. So obviously, like you always see like negative and stuff like that. Obviously, we like to focus on the positive here. So, is there anything to mind that you could think of? Maybe something a fan's done for you, maybe you've done for a fan, maybe something you've done for a wrestler, maybe a wrestler's done for you. Anything that pops in mind, for some wrestling with positivity.
Positive. I mean, yeah, I'm always trying to be like positive. If there's ever like a kid or anything when I go to a show and they always want to like ask a question or whatever, I always give them like the time of day because if they come out to see the show, then you got to give them the attention, especially at like an intermission or something. You don't want to be like ignoring or like only talking to like one guy the whole time. It's you gotta definitely make everyone feel represented, everyone feel heard and everything. There's always like people I try to answer to, certain people I know that are like dealing with some stuff, dealing with struggles or whatever. So even though like I get like a lot of messages sometimes, there's people I look out for, and if they like hit me up, then I'll always be sure to give them like a encouraging reply or something. And it is crazy sometimes that like just me answering some of them can mean so much to them. It's like a wild thought, but I'm glad that I could try to make them a little happier, I guess, by giving some positive feelings and sharing it. And I also love to hear from them too. There's a lot of like positivity from the fans that come back to me. I have a lot of really loyal fans too that are now like going out of their way to go to the venues I know they haven't usually been to before to come see like specifically just me wrestle. And that's really cool too, I think, because I don't know, like a fan that I might have saw like 3 hours out into Pennsylvania is coming 2 hours into New Jersey now because they heard that I'm wrestling at this promotion and they want to come see me wrestle. That's really cool to me.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's good for like any promotion too. It's just like new faces are coming there to just see new wrestlers too. Because obviously, I mean, I'm only on one match. It's just one person. I can't be the whole card. There's 7-8 matches on the card,
Absolutely. That's how kind of like I started following Anthony Gangone, and then it was like, oh, okay, now it's like I'm all over the freaking place. It's like,
yeah.
It's why I was like, ooh, okay, I came for this person, and now I fell in love with this one. Okay, like this is just how it goes. So, but Flash is definitely for the kids. I see all the photos, especially Azalea. Much love to you, Azalea. So it's so awesome to see, all the photos that you take with the kids. Even like the merch, because that was something that like even like Melissa's like, we got to talk about like the merch. You have like glow in the dark. Like I know at NFW, a bunch of like my friends, we were all with you chatting about all the merch that you had and stuff. So maybe you want to like talk a little bit more about it, So if
yeah, I have like. I got it's got to be like 10 different things now. So we got I guess I'll start cheapest. We have the wristbands are just like $1, but I end up giving away so many of those, like I definitely don't make money on them at this point. Because like I always feel bad. There's always kids that are always like, "Do you have anything for free, or do you have this or that?" And like usually I'll have my business card, and then I'll sign it, and I can give it to them. And then it also has like my Instagram and all my like handles and everything.
Mhm.
So it's like promotion, and they feel like they're getting something. But if anyone buys anything and like they have like a little brother or sister, I usually throw like a wristband to them for free because I always end up feeling bad. But we got those. We got the foam lightning bolts, go for $5. Those are like probably the biggest sellers. You'll see those. They're like yellow with the red letters. We got the tubes, which you see at like parties and like sweet 16s and bar mitzvahs. They light up when you press the button. They say flash Carter. They glow like red and orange. We got the cutout of my face on like a fat head. That's $10. All shirts are 20. We have like 3 different designs now. We had the pink one. I think we're all sold out. That one was going for breast cancer charity. We donated all the profits from that one. I'm trying to think. Do we have any other thing? Oh, 8x10s. I have a ton of 8x10s. Those are $10 each. I'll sign anything for free. Even if you don't buy anything, it doesn't matter if you want me to sign your shirt or whatever. And then I have the Slam Buddies for 30, which are like the stuffed animals.
Those are cute. Those are really,
Yeah, no,
really
those
cute.
are cool.
I love
Those
that
are
people
good.
are doing like stuff like that. Ryan in the chat says, "Who is Flash dream opponent?"
I don't know why. It's always like since I started doing this, like I had one friend that was in college that liked wrestling because like not a lot of people like wrestling in my life. I had to like kind of seek out people that liked wrestling, and even like there's a part of my life where I'm still friends with people who have no idea like who Roman Reigns are, or like if you say any of those people, like it doesn't mean anything to them. But like ever since I started, they were always like, "Yo, like the timing would be great if you can make it to WWE in like 10 years and be like Seth Rollins' retirement match." And I was
Ooh.
like, that would be really, really cool. Because I do think he is like probably the best wrestler of this generation. I like him better than Roman Reigns.
We love Seth Rollins here. Super, super nice.
He is really, really good. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like one of those guys, like I said, like AJ Styles, him. They just do it all. Really good characters. They
Definitely.
could do the flippy shit, but they don't have to. And I mean, they just have really solid like in-ring abilities. Like all their matches always feel like they deliver, and that's like a cool thing. Like I'm getting like people used to always like mark out. I feel like and be like, "Oh, like I want to have a match with this person. I want to have a match with this person." Like whenever you see those lists, okay, let's talk about that. You know those lists
Yes.
where people are always like dream opponents for this year or whatever. I'm like very against that. Like I think that's like not like, you know, like the most professional of looks or whatever. But how am I trying to say this? I think like it's okay to have like that like one like high aspiration, but like if your like dream opponents are like achievable, like realistic people, then that's not really like a dream. You know what I'm trying to say?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So like I feel like you shouldn't like downgrade yourself. Like dream, like yeah, like Seth Rollins, okay, that's a dream, you know?
Right.
Like saying like, oh, I want to wrestle like Rocket. Like that's like yeah, like that's something that could realistically like happen. Like that's something I want to happen.
Right.
You know, like that's like it would be a really good matchup, would be a really fun matchup, but like
I get it.
Like, you get what I'm trying to say. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I
It's
would
like,
be
oh,
yo, like,
these are matches that I could probably
I know,
have.
'cause, like,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, because like I see people like posting stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like you're posting like lists with people who are like literally yarders at this point.
Well, maybe it's the goals for the year. Like, okay, by the year end, this is the matches
No,
that I
get-
need to achieve, I guess. you
I
know?
get it, but like say target opponent list. Like we need to change. We need a changing.
Yeah,
of the
I
name,
understand.
not
Like
dream
formatted a little bit differently, unless it's somebody that's like retired, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Like-
no, I definitely remember like making a lot of jokes at the start of the year. Like I would message someone and be like, "Oh, like you see this? Like this person's your dream opponent or whatever," and they would be like laughing about it or something.
Definitely. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me do. I got like 2 fan tweets here. Let me grab these 2 fan tweets. Fan
Let's
tweet.
go
Good
for
cop
it.
from Good Cop, Bad Cop. He likes to mess with everybody. He said, for the non-British listeners, a flat is what we call an apartment. So after the British 101 lesson, and with Flash Carter being an anagram of flat crasher, which wrestler's flat or apartment do you crash at the most? I like this question. That's fun.
an interesting question.
It's different.
I mean, I know what flat. Like, I didn't need the definition. I know flat means that, but I don't know how you got flat from Flash Carter. But I guess whose place do I crash at the most? Probably Jungle Jim's. Jungle Jim Wilder is his full ring name. He's a really good guy. It would definitely have been in the past Tony Cheney and Big F and Vin, their place.
Yeah.
Because they had a house together for a while, but then they all moved away and went their separate ways. But definitely lately, it seems to be Jungle Jim's the place to be after shows late at night when I'm beat and just trying to chill with a couple other wrestlers and knock out for the night, you know?
Definitely. Good question. I like that. He always comes up with...
That is a creative question.
Right? Like, I give him all the credit in the world because he tries to give, like, one creative question to, like, any wrestler that comes onto this podcast. So much love to him because they're always interesting questions. So love to him. Let's see. Oh, okay. So we got a fan tweet from Dave. He says, your top 5 indie wrestlers right now.
Oh, see, I'm not like good with like the indie wrestling and everything right now. Like I said, I got to get more into it now that I finally do have time. But like I don't know really the big names in indie wrestling. Like I know that's probably like not a good thing to say or not a good look. But
he's busy. He's being a doctor and being
I don't
smart.
know. I see stuff on Instagram. The dude, oh fuck. I don't want to say anything because I feel like I'm just gonna embarrass myself and definitely like not sound smart at all about wrestling. But the one dude looks really, really good. I forget his name.
Oh yeah, that helps.
I know his name, but I don't want to say it and like mess it up and be like sounding stupid. He's the dude that was from GCW that was on like AEW and like AAA, and he's the champ. I think it's like El Hijo del Vikingo or something.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
really,
he's like
really
awesome.
good, yeah.
Like obviously I see him and shit.
Right.
I'm trying to think. Like I don't know. It's like AEW is not considered indies, right?
No, I wouldn't consider it indies.
Yeah. So like I don't know. Like guys that are on the indies right now, probably like Casey Navarro is still an indie guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know he's doing really good.
Really good.
The one guy, what was his name? I really liked him from MLW when I was doing extra work there. I really liked his matches. Myron Reed, is that him?
That would be a really good match, you and Myron Reed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, you know...
I do remember his match being really good.
Yeah, really, really freaking good. You know, some of, like, the best match. I get really excited when, like, you know, you see, like, some of the indies guys, like, wrestle him because you're going to get, like, a top-notch match, and I feel like he kind of brings out a lot in his opponents.
Yeah, no, he's definitely one guy that I've seen a lot of, because I'm trying to think, just like I was saying, there's not a lot of guys where it's like I've watched a ton of their matches unless I was like in person there. So like MLW, I did a little bit of extra work for in my junior year of college. So I remember watching a couple of his matches.
Yeah.
Enjoying that.
Melissa says, if you don't put Vertigo on that list, he may smack you.
Okay. He goes at the bottom. He goes at the bottom of the list.
Oh, damn. You're really looking for
He goes second to last. He goes right next to Killer K.
I'm dead. All right, so I guess we got to do the fun question of the podcast, right? That everybody likes, like, you know, that they make sure that I ask about it now because it's like the thing.
What's that?
So now it's started a whole war on this podcast, pretty much, like with anybody that comes on, because other wrestlers get mad at other wrestlers' responses. So do you put, God help me, do you put your milk in first and then your cereal, or do you put your cereal in first and then your milk?
The cereal first and then the milk. 'Cause it's like, it makes it soggier, and you like it like, you gotta have it like soggier. It's just, it ruins the texture, I think, if you do milk first then cereal. It doesn't make sense.
Well, you'd be surprised. There's been a bunch of people on this pod that said that they put the milk in first, and it just started like a whole riot.
But you agree with me, though,
I agree with you.
Okay.
I 100% agree with you, but I'm just telling you that, like, some of these guys, you know,
Gotta watch out. Gotta watch
I'm telling
out.
you, it started a whole thing. It became like a trend on this podcast now, and I'm like, I'm not the serial podcast girl. That's not me. But we're gonna run with it pretty much with that stuff as well. All right. So since we're talking food and all that stuff, favorite snack?
Snack, just like not like meal, just like a little snack.
Yeah, a little snack.
Goldfish probably. Not a lot of sugar. I think that's like what I've been going for lately. I'm trying to not do candy or anything like chocolatey or sweet. I mean, I know they probably got like decent amount of salt, but goldfish are just like a classic. You know, like ever since I was a little kid, like that's just the go-to. It's always goldfish.
Okay. Well, I put it out there because you never know, somebody might bring you some snack. You know, come on, I'm looking out for you.
I will say I don't eat usually on show days till after my match. So if I have a show at like 7 o'clock and I'm on like after intermission, I'm not eating until like 9:30 that day.
Oh man, now you're really going overboard, right? He said definitely cereal and then milk, but what if it's cereal and water? Really, like now you're just getting crazy. I mean, but that's been said on this podcast too. It kind of did a whole thing. Even Melissa said that the cereal thing took over the Wawa versus Sheets debate on this podcast. You want to elaborate on that?
I don't know anything about Sheets. I'm all about the Wawa life. I don't live by any Sheets, but I definitely have gone to Wawa at like 2 a.m. in the middle of the night hundreds of times in my life throughout high school and college. And I lived in Philly. Philly is like literally like Wawa Central.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Temple is the only college in Philly that doesn't have a Wawa. It's ridiculous.
Terrible. Unacceptable.
Drexel has one. Penn has one. LaSalle has one. Temple's the only one that doesn't have a Wawa. It's so stupid.
Now we're gonna have to like start writing letters of like, why is
I
this
know.
happening? Pretty much.
We got a Raisin Canes, which everyone loves, but I hated it. I thought it was so bad. Raisin Canes.
I never heard of that. Like, well, I mean, I'm in New York, so you know.
No, Raisin Canes. It's coming from the South. It's a chain. It's like a chicken finger place.
Of course, like I don't get anything good. Like I don't get anything good. I don't.
Do you get like you probably have at least like White Castle? Now,
I have
right?
White Castle,
Yeah,
but I
that's
don't
the
have
best.
like Crackle Barrel. Like I want some
No,
Crackle
no one
Barrel.
gives a shit about that. No, I just need White Castle.
What a switch.
I hate that there's no White Castle when I was in Philly. I would always get it when I would come to Jersey for like shows and stuff.
Yeah. Like now people are gonna just like randomly bring you gift cards to like White Castle after this podcast. It happens. So, all right. Okay. So we're winding down to the last 3 questions that I have. If you have any other questions, drop it into the chat. All right. What's some things you like to do when you're not in the squared circle?
Well, I don't like to do it, but I'm always studying, I feel like.
All right. How about some fun things?
I'm into Legos a lot.
Oh,
A lot of Legos.
Look at that.
Yeah. A lot of Star Wars Legos. Recently, I finally gotten to enjoy being 21 and started going out with friends and stuff, so that's very fun. I'm hanging out at the Jersey Shore a lot. I got a shore house down there, so that whole area, you know, from like Belmar to Seaside, all that's really fun. And I don't know, lately I've kind of just been like going where the wind takes me, not really trying to like think through too much because I've been very like structured and planned for the last God knows how many years. And now, like, up until tomorrow, I guess, when I realize what score I get and I have to start applying and doing all those processes, I've just kind of been, like, being free and just enjoying life for a little bit. But tomorrow it'll probably all change again. I'll be back on, like, more strict course, more determined path. But I just do regular stuff. I don't know. I play video games here and there now that I have time. Nothing, like, special or crazy. I like playing basketball. That's a big thing. I like to play basketball. I got to get back in a league.
Just not with Matt.
Well, no, I got to get in a league with Matt so I could drop 30 points on Matt's head and then like talk trash on him.
Poor Matt.
He's like so like underestimating me. I'm telling you, this has been my whole career. All right, he doesn't realize that like I am a Hall of Fame finishing talent at the rim. Okay, Matt. Like. He can't stop me if I go downhill.
No, I feel like this is like a video that it's like you and Matt we got to play basketball with each other. We got to like video it and like
Yeah,
post it up pretty much.
we need to bet it. We need some money on it. Someone's got to like come out in like a goofy attire or something if they lose.
And then we'll get Ryan T to like be the ref over there for it, like he's neutral. So like shout out to Ryan T. I haven't seen him in a little bit. I miss him. So I know that he's been UWA lead and he's busy.
Definitely shout out to Ryan. He's probably the best ref that I've had the privilege of getting to do a match with. He's just so like he's definitely like if I had to envision what referees in like WWE would be like, he's definitely like that, because like everything he says has meaning, has purpose. He comes over to check on you. He's not just like, are you okay? He's like, you got this much time left. He's like the other guy just said this, and you say something, and he goes and tells the other guy. Like, he's just so good. Like, he's got all the cues down. He never forgets any of his like what am I trying to say? Like his iggies. He doesn't forget anything. So he's probably the best ref I've had the privilege of being in there. Although I've been in there with a bunch of great ones, bunch of not great ones too. But if I'm forgetting anyone, I'm sorry. But Ryan T is definitely top tier Ryan T, and he's a great devil t-shirt thrower.
Melissa said, she goes, oh no, Ryan would want to be the third person on the basketball court.
That is probably true.
But all love to Ryan. We love Ryan here. All right, so again, we're halfway through like the year pretty much. Like I'm telling you, we're gonna be hanging up like Christmas and Hanukkah will be here before you know it, all that fun stuff. So what are some goals in wrestling that you would like to achieve by the end of the year?
I want to hit 5K definitely on Instagram by the end of the summer. I think that's kind of realistic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 3.7-ish right now, I think. But I got really lazy in the last month posting. When I was posting, I was doing really good. I was getting like 15, 20 a day. And I was figuring out the algorithms really well, because you got to post like reels and you got to post stuff with good hashtags.
Mm-hmm.
And then they really like suggest your shit. Because like, you can look at the numbers, because I have my thing sent to a business account.
Mm-hmm.
When I use certain like hashtags and keywords, it just gets like seen like way more than other ones where I don't use those words.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm just trying to figure out, because it's always changing too. I'm always trying to figure out what's the best stuff to post, what's the best time of day to post. I'm always thinking like analytically.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely growing my social media following is a big thing. I'm on IWTV now, so I can't say that anymore, but I really wanted to try to make me crack the top 500, that the 500 PWI list, but I don't think I've done enough yet. I probably got set back by that injury I had last year, so that might have to be a goal for the year after, but I don't even know if I'll be wrestling as much at that point, because that's like medical school will be starting up and stuff. But I don't know, maybe I could have a really good run this summer. I do have a lot of shows coming up. I'm basically booked up every Saturday for the rest of the year at this point. Still willing to do like double and triple shoots though, so if anyone is listening, don't let that discourage you from hitting me up.
There you go. I love that.
I'm always doing the grind. I had 2 shows last weekend on Saturday on the same day. I got 3 this weekend, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday, so that's a big thing. But I don't know, I don't have any like goals like championships or anything like that. My only big goals are really grow my following and get out there and just not get noticed, but like I gain traction, I guess, just keep on going where I'm going. I feel like it's a good place right now. Keep training too. That's another big thing. Want to train as much as possible, because now that I'm like able to have the time to just work out again and train, I want to utilize that before it's all gone again, obviously.
Absolutely. So I always tell everybody, tweet your favorite promotions, tell them that you want to see Flash so he can try to, get in there and, like Wrestling Open and stuff like that. So, tweet at those promotions. Matt's in the chat. He says, hey. Hi, Matt. What's going on? Different Matt. Sorry. Different Matt P. Different Matt. So how are you? All right. Let's see. All right. So my final question to you, and then we'll get to everything, social media, all that fun stuff like that. So for all those inspired and amateur wrestlers out there, what's the piece of advice that you would give them?
I I don't know. I'm not like a vet or anything, so don't take anything I say
Yeah,
to
but
heart,
maybe
really.
you're still
But
wrestling. Like you're still wrestling, and there are those people out there that listen to this podcast that are thinking about getting into wrestling, or they're just training. They
yeah,
haven't even made their debut
it's
yet.
it's crazy because now it's at the point where it's like some of the places I've been at, I've been there for like a few years now, and there's some kids that are actually younger than me, and it's like wild because it's like I was always the youngest one and everything, but that is actually some people there that are newer than me, and some of them come up to me and like ask me stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I could give you an answer, but like I don't know if it's the right answer, and I'm kind of like learning like I guess the maturity part of wrestling and like growing into like not a vet role, but like how like the journey to becoming like a veteran is, and like how the things you have to learn and like how you have to mature as a wrestler and an in-ring athlete are, and like I'm starting to see all that stuff, but I just I literally got like sidetracked. What was the original question again? I was talking too much.
What's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Right. So I would just say never let any one thing discourage you, because I've been like really knocked down. Obviously the injury was a really big setback, but there's nothing that's like one thing that's like, oh, that's it. Like you can't wrestle anymore. You're done. Unless like obviously like you get like a Daniel Bryan or something, you like break your neck, but like there shouldn't be like one thing where like you have a bad match or like you have a really bad experience where this guy didn't want to like do any of your moves or put you over for anything, or like you had something really embarrassing happen to you. Like everything happened. Everyone has stuff like that happen. So don't let any one thing discourage you. You should always be able to bounce back, because wrestling isn't really like who's the toughest, who's like, this and that. Like it's at the end of the day, not real if you didn't know. So it's just kind of like a competition of who can hang around the most, who can, be the most resilient, make the most connections and just keep working their way up, keep putting in the time, keep, doing the hard work. And I do think like if you just stick to that, you'll be able to make it as far as you want to go in it. And I really wish like, because there's times where I'm so passionate about wrestling and I do love it so much. I wish it was the only thing in my life. I didn't have, a whole full other life trying to pursue becoming a doctor, which is, like only one of the toughest things I could be trying to do at the same time, because I would love to just commit my life to wrestling, but I don't think that's like realistic right now,
Yeah, well, I get that. So, but you continue to be, smart, as we always say, right? Go be smart, all that fun stuff. So, and I see, like, shout out to your mom, big supportive mom. I love seeing that with a lot of the wrestlers, when like family is so supportive and coming to the matches. So, shout out to your mom, So, I think that's so like amazing out there. All right, let's talk what you got coming up, so people can come see ya.
Okay, let's see. Pull up the old calendar over here. All right, we got, well, as always, you guys can see me on YouTube. If you go to GTS Wrestling, it's on the Silly Super Pop channel, it's called, but that's Grimm's Toy Show. He is at 1.3 million subscribers and growing, so I am a mainstay on that show. Always make sure to check me out there. Next time on GTS Wrestling, me and Grimm are actually fighting for the tag team championship, so that's exciting. Ooh. Then this weekend we have 2 shows in Oaks, Pennsylvania at the Greater Philadelphia Convention Center. That's going to be a cosplay wrestling show.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. That's a really big convention it's at. It's called Too Many Games. It's like a big video games expo. There's like tens of thousands of people that go. It's a really big event. So if you're into video games, I'd recommend checking that out. And then you can watch me. I think I'm Little Mac from Super Smash Bros. They have me as. So that's who I'm wrestling as at that event. Saturday night, we're double shooting and going to New Egypt, New Jersey for UWC. I'll be in the main event there. Tag team match, me and Tony Cini against Andy Bivens and Bobby Banks. I'm taking July 4th weekend off because screw everyone. I need to relax that weekend.
Well, there you go.
Then the next weekend, July 8th, I'm back at Bordentown, New Jersey with UWC. Or that one, I'm not sure if that date is still on. If it's not, I have another place, so that one's hesitant. The 15th of July is UWA Elite. That's going to be a very cool one in South River. Then the Friday after that, I'm in Jackson, New Jersey. My bad. So, and then the day after that, which would be the 22nd, I'm at Titan, which is, I'm not sure where that one is. I think that's Bayville, New Jersey. So I'm all over the place.
Yeah, Tom's
I'll
River.
always Tom's River.
Yeah.
I'll have graphics posted, and I'll always post my promos and a graphic of the show before a couple days before the show at least. So stay tuned to my social media. My Instagram is the best, and that's definitely the best way to see where I'm going to be at, because a lot of dates, a lot of changing stuff. And in the summer especially, there's a ton of places I'm going to be at. And August 5th, like I said, is that one where I think I can actually talk about it. I'm 99.9% sure.
Well, that's awesome. Well, promote all your social medias and all that fun stuff so that if people aren't following you, that they should be following you. So, like I said, the future.
All right, so we got Facebook is just Flash Carter. I have the page you're supposed to like, and then there's like a separate page you can send a friend request to. Just like the page. If you send a friend request, it probably won't get accepted because there's like just a ton of spam, and I don't have time to go through them all. So if you just like the page, it's the same exact things that get posted to it. Twitter is Flash_Carter_. Instagram is just Flash_Carter. TikTok, I don't really use it. Oh my God, it's got like the little cloud. I got to reinstall it. It's been that long since I clicked on it. But and I don't have enough memory, I guess, to install it, so I'm not reinstalling TikTok. So don't worry about TikTok. But it's probably Flash Carter or something like that. YouTube, check out YouTube. There's a lot of cool original content on my YouTube channel. If you're into the Legos at all, I like to do a lot of the builds with the Legos on there. Some other wrestling stuff, and a lot of matches that you can't see really anywhere else besides my YouTube. So just Flash Carter, look me up on YouTube, I'll come up. And yeah, I think that's all my social medias.
Awesome. I have them all linked in the description below, so you can go give a follow if you're a little lazy. I got you covered. Not a problem. So, but yeah, so no, I'm so glad that we finally got to make this happen. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. I know Melissa's been wanting me to do it. A couple other people have been wanting me to do this interview, so I'm glad, like, you know, that we got relaxed Flash. Pretty much.
I know. I was so, like, anyone who's seen me, like, before I took my test knows how, like, tense I was and stressed. I've finally been, like, relaxing the last, like, month, so I'm way better now. But I was, like, in a really stressed out, like, state for a while.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're good. Putting all the good vibes that you got really good numbers on your scores tomorrow. So I hope it's Happy Flash tomorrow. Of course it's gonna be Happy Flash. What are we all talking about here? So, but yeah. So everybody go give love to Flash Carter. Definitely go follow his stuff if you haven't seen him. You know, keep supporting. Go say hi. Bring him some goldfish or some White Castle gift cards. He'll enjoy that stuff. So.
No, don't encourage it. I need to have less.
Oh, okay. Don't bring it.
I already have too much.
Don't bring strange dolls to him either. I love it. So, but thank you for coming on here and chatting with us a little bit.
Of course, anytime.
It was a pleasure. So I can't wait to see where you go. I hope we can see you at some more places this year since you have a little bit of the time off now. So hopefully we'll get you in some new states, you know, some new promotions.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So tag those promotions that you want to see him at. It works. I had already saw, what was it, one of the fans wrote, Ryan said, need to come to OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, it's a big one. I know that.
Tag them. I'm telling you, the power of the fans. It works. It definitely works. So.
Oh, 100%. You don't think, like, people in backstage areas are always talking about, like, what's getting traction or not on social media?
Yep. See?
Always.
So you know the drill. Go tweet at them and all that fun stuff. So, yeah. So thank you again for coming on here. I really appreciate. But we got a little chat here. But yeah. So guys, I'm off next week. I'm not. I got some important stuff next week. But I will be back July 5th. You get the scoop. Fresh Air is coming on. This is a long-term interview I've been wanting to. So I'll put the post out probably in a couple of days, but you get the exclusive here. So, well, I will talk to you guys after 4th of July. So stay safe, support independent wrestling. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.